Naomi Reyes had been in New York City exactly 27 days, which was long enough to learn three things. The subway behaves like an indifferent Greek god. Coffee is a moral imperative, and interns at the Sentinel rarely see bylines. She spent most mornings at a cubicle the size of a suitcase, clipping other papers for senior Metro reporter Darren Flood. But ambition is an itchy garment, and on this Thursday in late October, it made her lean over the fire escape railing outside the copy desk, searching for a story of her own. Below her, pigeons jostled on the rusted bars, heads bobbing like synchronized pistons. One pigeon, plump and soot-coloured, tilted its neck and regarded her with an unsettling intensity. Naomi laughed under her breath. "If you've got a tip, buddy, I know an editor who loves birdseed." The pigeon's beak never moved, but a voice, dry, professorial, unfurled inside her skull. "We prefer sunflower hearts. The inferior millet you humans dump in parks causes gastric distress." Naomi jerked, clutching the railing. The bird's eyes remained black and glassy. "Who said that?" "While you recalibrate your sense of reality, I should introduce myself. I am Tuluke, observational archivist of Flock 31, and you, intern Naomi, are standing on our favorite roost." Naomi blinked twice. Stress hallucinations were one thing, mind-reading pigeons were another. She pulled the window shut, marched to her desk, and decided she needed fresh air somewhere not full of feathers or psychosis. 15 minutes later, she stood in Bryant Park, phone poised to dial a therapist, when a fluttering grey cloud landed in a semicircle at her feet. "Our apologies for the abrupt greeting," Toulouse said. Or thought. "Your cortical bandwidth caught us by surprise. You possess latent receptivity. A natural receiver is rare." Naomi crouched, eyes narrowing. "You're pigeons." "Correct, but also the city's oldest surveillance network. Humans call us filthy. We call ourselves thorough. For 3 centuries, we have monitored unusual phenomena. In return, certain editors once published our warnings. The Morris Jumel Ledger in 1883, the Daily Chronicle in 1927. But the line has gone silent. We require a new amplifier." Naomi hesitated. The Sentinel had been losing subscribers for years. A supernaturally fed crime column might revive both paper and in turn. "What phenomenon are we talking about?" "Bronze gargoyles," Toulouse said. "They vacated St. Vincent's parapets last night, leaving claw marks in the masonry." Their leader, Engram of the Verdigris Order, plots to petrify Central Park at dawn 2 days from now. Thousands will be statues by the time sunlight touches the reservoir. Naomi frowned. "Gargoyles only animate at night and they freeze at sunrise. Precisely why Engram constructed a Petrolux obelisk. It will emit a false dusk, preserving their mobility. Organic matter inside the field calcifies instantly. Stone for them, collateral for you." Naomi's reporter instincts flared. "If I help, what do you pigeons get?" "Continued existence. Gargoyles despise winged things. We could be first in line for petrifaction." Naomi exhaled. "Then let's work together. But I need proof." Toulouse fluttered onto her wrist. "Meet us at Belvedere Castle, midnight tonight. Bring your recorder and bread, the good kind." She spent the afternoon researching gargoyles. Folklore claimed they were drainage spouts carved with latent sentience, animated by lunar conjunctions. Modern occult blogs added that they coveted metropolitan landmarks, like misers hoarding gold. "Stone begets stone," one post warned. "Their idea of growth is subtraction." At 7 p.m, Naomi found Darren in the bullpen, tie loosened like a white-flagged truce. She pitched him the gargoyle story. He stared as if she'd announced Elvis was alive and selling pierogies in Queen. "Thereas, I need budget hearings and sanitation strikes, not gothic lunacy," he said. "This paper can't afford flights of fancy." Naomi clenched her jaw. "If I bring irrefutable documentation, will you print it?" A sigh. "You get me pictures and a credible eyewitness, we'll talk." "Deadline tomorrow noon." Naomi left the office with her Nikon. digital recorder, and a Ziploc of artisanal sourdough. Midnight found her climbing the ramp of Belvedere Castle as mist curled like breath from the ramble. Pigeons lined the battlements, silver in moonlight. Toulouse perched beside a telescope. "We tracked Engram to Bethesda Terrace," the telepath intoned. "He and 10 lieutenants carve sigils under the fountain each night. At 3 a.m. they return to St. Vincent's through the steam tunnels." "Can I see for myself?" A younger pigeon flapped forward. "Our eyes will be yours. Consent," she whispered. Instantly, a lattice of images poured into her brain. Heat signatures bobbing beneath the terrace, the glowing outline of a jagged obelisk craned onto a flatbed truck, gargoyles hunched like predatory chess pieces. Their tails dragged sparks over concrete. Eldritch runes sizzled wherever talons touched. Naomi swayed, dazzled by the sensory overload. "I need to get closer for photographs." "Impossible." Engram's wards repel warm-blooded creatures. But we are neither warm nor blooded. We will retrieve evidence. The flock erupted into synchronized flight, a cyclone of wings descending through moonbeams. Through their compound eyes, she watched them wheel above the terrace, micro-cameras taped to several tail feathers. Below, gargoyles chanted in basalt tongues. One pigeon swooped too low. A gargoyle speared it mid-air on a bronze claw. Naomi felt a psychic scream, then silence. A feathered consciousness snuffed like static. "Retrieve! Regroup!" Toulouse ordered. "We suffer casualties for every truth." 5 minutes later, pigeons landed around Naomi, cameras intact. She swallowed hard, honoring the fallen bird with the only eulogy available: urgency. Reviewing the footage on her laptop, she captured a frame of Engram brandishing a hammer of green metal beside the Petrolux obelisk, a column veined with molten timestamp and GPS embedded. It was enough for any editor with a pulse, she thought. But Toulouse's head twitched. "Engram senses leaks. He will deploy watchers. Your newsroom may be compromised." "I'll file from Adana," Naomi decided. "Signal is decent near Columbus Circle." The walk there was quiet, too quiet for New York. No taxis honked, no buskers trilled. Halfway up 7th Avenue, bronze shapes clinked across rooftop. Naomi ducked into an alcove. A gargoyle scout sniffed the air, nostrils glowing like coal. She felt Toulouse in her mind. Static field disrupts detection. Crush this. A chunk of concrete lay near a construction site. Naomi hurled it at a transformer box. Sparks exploded. Streetlights flickered out. In the darkness, she sprinted. Inside the diner, she commandeered a corner booth, fed quarters into the ancient outlet, and uploaded footage to the Sentinel server with trembling fingers. 37% complete. She drummed the table. 49%. The bell above the door jingled. A man entered in a trench coat dusted with green flakes, eyes gleaming like aged copper. Naomi recognized the pattern. She grabbed her laptop and dove behind the counter. The trench-coated gargoyle sniffed, granite teeth clicked. The short-order cook continued flipping burgers, oblivious. Toulouse's voice whispered, "Evade." Grease traps hissed behind Naomi. She yanked one free, hurling sizzling fat onto the gargoyle's coat. Steam rose. It roared sound like grinding tombstones and skidded on linoleum. Naomi dashed through the kitchen exit, into an alley. "Upload at 64%, Toulouse said. "Remote server open. We can finish transfer." "Do it," she gasped. "I'll lead them away." She bolted toward Broadway, clustering with late-night theater-goers. Gargoyle footfalls clanged behind her, but crowds slowed its pursuit. At 72nd Street, she veered into the subway. A train thundered in. She squeezed aboard as doors hissed shut. The bronze figure halted on the platform, howling as the tunnel swallowed her. The car rocked, fluorescent lights strobing. Commuters eyed Naomi's soot-smeared face. She caught a reflection in the window. Hair wild, pupils dilated. He wanted a byline, she thought. Be careful what you wish for. Toulouse reported, "Upload complete. Flood possesses the files." But Engram targets Central Park tomorrow night, earlier than expected. Dawn forecast at 6:14 a.m. We must destroy the obelisk before then. Where will he keep it? Under Bow Bridge. Gargoyles love symbolism. Bridges between states of matter. He will calibrate the field at moonset. Naomi exited at 81st, jogging toward the park. Mist laced the lampposts. 2 pigeons guided her to a maintenance shed near the lake. Inside were bolt cutters, epoxy, and jugs of industrial acid. "Acquire what you need," Toulouse said. "We coordinate airstrike. You orchestrate ground breach." Naomi stuffed acid jugs into a janitorial cart, draped with a trash bag. She'd pose as cleaning staff. At 4 a.m., nobody asked questions. Heart thrumming, she recalled high school chemistry. Acid plus bronze equals exothermic meltdown. Stone guardians might be tougher, but the obelisk looked delicate. She rolled the cart onto Cherry Hill. Silhouettes clustered beneath Bow Bridge, gargoyles hoisting crystals, wiring them to the obelisk, which now burned with interior sunrise. Engram paced, crown of tarnished feathers glinting. "We dive on your mark," Toulouse transmitted. "Maximum scatterguano barrage first. Humiliation is tactical." Naomi almost smiled. 3, 2, 1. Pigeons swarmed, raining caustic droppings that hissed on bronze skin. Gargoyles cursed in dead dialects, swatting wildly. Naomi sprinted with the cart, ducking under the bridge. She pulled a jug, twisted the cap, and hurled acid at a copper junction box. Circuits sparked. Half the obelisk went dark. Ingram roared, wings unfurling to 13 feet. He seized Naomi by the arm, claws piercing her jacket. "Your meddling ends at dawn, human. Observe the park that will become your tomb." Naomi's vision blurred as he lifted her skyward, settling on the bridge railing. Gargoyles rerouted power, chanting again. Obelisk shards relit. Toulouse's voice cut through the pain. "Risk dynamic drop. We can soften landing." "Do it," she whispered. A dozen pigeons dive-bombed Engram's face, pecking at verdigreek eyes. He staggered, grip loosening. Naomi wrenched free, plummeting 20 feet into the lake. Water shocked her nerves. She surfaced, gasping as pigeons harassed the gargoyles, but stone fists were swatting them down. "Plan B," Toulouse said. "We require higher mass." Naomi slogged ashore, spotting a Parks Department pickup idling nearby, keys still in ignition. She gunned it down the dirt path, adrenaline overriding reason. "Are you intending vehicular assault?" "Target the obelisk," she coughed. "Guide me." Pigeons formed an arrow in headlights, steering her. She floored the accelerator. Engram saw too late. The truck smashed through scaffolding, crunching into the obelisk. Bronze cracked. Amber light flared like dying magnesium. Naomi bailed, rolling onto grass as the crystal column imploded. An eruption of petrifying energy discharged harmlessly into the night sky, lacking containment. Gargoyles shrieked. Fractures spidered across their limbs. Without the field's protection, dawn's first glimmer over Harlemere touched them. One by one they froze, mid-howl, mid-wing beat, statues returning to silence. Naomi lay on her back, lungs burning, while pigeons circled overhead like jubilant confetti. The sun's disk cleared the horizon, gilding everything pink. "Victory," Toulouse breathed. "Isa." Casualties, 8, avian innumerable gargoyle. Central Park remains organic. Naomi sat up to survey the battlefield. Gargoyle statues dotted the bridge like avant-garde art. Park joggers slowed, confused. Police sirens wailed distant. "You think the city will believe this?" "They will when they read your article." She glanced at the park's Wi-Fi icon on her phone. 1 bar. Enough. Fingers trembling, she drafted on the Notes app. Night of verdigris. Gargoyles failed attempt to turn Central Park into stone. Eyewitness report and exclusive footage. She attached images from the pigeon cams, a selfie beside frozen Engren, and hit send to Darren's inbox. An hour later, she limped into the Sentinel lobby, clothes crusted with lake algae. Darren strode toward her, waving printouts. "Rias, what the hell is this?" His eyes were wide, somewhere between terror and exhilaration. NYPD just cordoned off the bridge. Witnesses say statues appeared out of thin air. Your timestamps match. I've got half the newsroom vitting. If this stands up, good Lord, we'll bury the Times. Naomi managed a smile. Secure page 1 above the fold and byline me. Done. He lowered his voice. Who were your sources? She looked outside. Pigeons lined the window ledge, nodding. Confidential, she said, but they're always watching. By noon, the Sentinel's website crashed under traffic. Cable crews broadcast live among the immobilized gargoyles. Experts speculated about art installations, viral marketing, alien hoaxes. Only Naomi and the pigeons knew the truth. A secret nested in cooing throats. That evening, on the roof of the Sentinel building, Naomi offered a loaf of brioche, like diplomatic tribute. The flock assembled. Toulouse bowed, one wing missing feathers from gargoyle claws. Your amplification shifted perception. Stone Guardians will rethink operating in our city. Naomi tore bread into pieces. So what happens now? Now we monitor. Supernatural crime is endemic. Sewer gators with spectral augmentation, subway shadows that eat memory, hedge funds literally run by demons. Your species needs a liaison. Naomi exhaled, feeling the weight of ink and responsibility. I'm in, but we do this on the record. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Pigeons cooed approval. A gust lifted paper wrappers across the rooftop like fledgling stories taking flight. Weeks later, Naomi's column, Underworld Beat, became the Sentinel's signature feature. Each installment credited to N. Reyes and informants. Circulation rebounded. Rooftop pigeon lofts were installed as avian press boxes. Tourists photographed the petrified gargoyles, never guessing they once plotted their doom. On quiet nights, Naomi leaned against the parapet, listening to the feathery rustle of her newsroom in the sky. The city below thrummed with secrets, but she was no longer an intern clipping other people's headlines. She was the amplifier, the bridge between species, proof that journalism still had teeth and wings.